Thanks for joining us this week, guys. My name is Steph, my husband Tim, and our three boys and I, we purchased an abandoned property here in southwest Victoria, Australia. Now, we're not going to work on the house yet because the gardens are way more important for our lifestyle choice. We are striving for self-sufficiency as close to possible as we can get. We would really love to cut out the supermarket and, you know, just reduce that reliance on that system. This week I'm going to chat about the planning that goes into building a self-sufficient garden. This is our first year in this garden, so you know what, you might have to follow along the journey. But I would like to tell you what I've done, what I've tried to implement to get here. I'll take you through the garden and show you what we've got growing already, and I'll discuss with you what our plans are there. This is the garden at the moment. We're slowly getting there. We've almost finished. This is row 7. Row 8, we've already planted out probably a third, almost half the row. And then row 9 is our berry patch. Row 10. What's row 10?
Row 10, I think, is potatoes.
Do you reckon? It might be corn.
Yeah, potatoes, because then 3 rows.
If it's 3 rows, it's corn. And then the last one's potatoes. So we'll show you around. We've done 2 successions so far of carrots. I've just got a little bit of this wire over the top to try and stop the chickens getting on it. You can see I tried with my first succession, and then the second succession I gave up. It's not doing too bad. We've had some sprout already from the second succession. This is our first succession here, which is looking a lot better. They have obviously a long way to go, but basically every 2 weeks we are doing another succession of carrots. We still have 6 more rows to build, and we will be having more carrots in further rows as well. Rather than harvesting all in one go, we just don't see the point when it comes to carrots. We can grow pretty much all year round here. It is a lot colder for longer periods here compared to some other areas of Australia, but you know, we can still grow all year round, so we may as well make the most of it. Succession sowing is one of the main methods I'm using to be able to grow a year's worth of food for us. And I haven't ever done it this intensively before. So we have certain crops that we are doing it with. It includes carrots and corn specifically. And I'm doing a slight succession, so maybe only 1 or 2, like a couple of successions of cucumbers and tomatoes, peas, beans, that kind of thing as well. I'm really trying to be organised with this system because it's quite intensive planting. I've actually downloaded a free app called Seed Time. I'm not associated with them, and honestly their app has some really great aspects and some not so great. So this is just what I'm trying. It alerts me once I've set up the tasks when to succession sow like my next plantings. And yeah, I mean, you can use your calendar as well, whatever floats your boat, but this is just kind of an experiment for me to see if it helps keep me on track. And so far it has, but obviously we haven't finished putting the rest of our garden rows in, and when we have, I think it will be even better. These are our baby beetroots that we've transplanted. Some of them are absolutely thriving and others are not. But we've got quite a few in this row, and I also put out some fresh seed, so we have got some popping up as well. Ooh, one's come up here. They're like staggered in a zigzag just to give them plenty of space to grow. So after our beetroots, we then have a very small patch of leeks. They're not very big, probably hard to see, but I'm hoping that we'll get, I think there's like 20 roughly of them here, maybe 15. And again, I've staggered them, and hopefully We can get a little bit of a patch out of these for our first succession. I have another spot ready to go for our second plantings. We've had some trouble germinating brown onions. I'm not sure why. Our red onions have been absolutely fine. So we're gonna have a lot of red onions our first big onion growing season. And you know, that's just how it works out sometimes. You're never gonna get it absolutely perfect. You're not gonna get everything go to plan every year. That's just gardening in a nutshell. But our red onions are looking really good. I've just planted them in a nice solid row. And they are probably going to almost the halfway mark. So let's have a look. I have got some brown onions in here, but not very many. And some weeds. And then, so they stop here. Yeah, we're about almost halfway to the end. And we'll keep going with more. I know we talk about self-sufficiency on this channel a lot, and that's because I think it's the best description for people to understand what we're trying to do here. We really want to cut out the supermarket as much as possible. I know that's not completely possible. I'm well aware of that, but that's our biggest goal. And you know what? If we really needed to go without the supermarket and we grew our own fruit, vegetables and meat, yeah, we could do it. Like if we really needed to. But the main goal is to not rely on them as heavily as we currently do. The cost of living at the moment is atrocious. It takes a lot of organizational skills to reduce what we're paying every fortnight. We pay fortnightly. So what we're doing is just a means to reduce our reliance on that. Now, that isn't just us, you know, growing seeds and planting out. It's a huge community effort as well. And we have got quite a few things growing in this garden already that were gifts to us from other people. This beautiful patch of onions are from a friend. So huge thank you to Sue. So these are walking onions. So considering we've had such trouble with the brown onions, apparently we won't have any trouble growing onions now, and we are super relieved to hear that. But they have transplanted beautifully down here. Absolutely stoked. Tim dug up this asparagus from the Murray River. It grows along the Murray River like a weed, honestly. And so he dug up a few plants. Now we used to go and forage for it every year, and I would get my, you know, stores up of asparagus. But just be aware if you do forage along there for it, apparently they have recently sprayed. So such a shame, because there were loads of us down there every year picking fresh asparagus. But anyway, Tim dug up some established plants. So we're hoping that they do well. But as you can see, we've already got, you know, a little asparagus spear growing. And they were really nice big root balls. So should be absolutely fine. Over to the berry row. This is our raspberries. These are our raspberries. Now, this lot came from my mum, and I was super nervous that they weren't going to do okay. But look, we have life. Our first little raspberry leaf. So I'm really, really relieved to see that. And then we went to a little homesteaders catch up, and I want to say a big thank you to David and his wife. They gifted raspberry canes. This is the heritage raspberry cane, and we got heaps. Like 12 bundles in this. So again, like, this is all just community. I used to grow raspberries at the last place, and honestly, like, this first year garden, they look gorgeous, don't they? They're all in a line. But raspberries don't grow like that. These will take over. Like, they'll try and grow in our rows, and we're going to have to, like, be getting rid of them. You know, they are quite invasive. And so, you know, the prices of them, I think it was like $15 for one cane at a nursery. We need community. That's what I'm saying. We need community. Because trust me, if you know anyone that's growing raspberries, they've probably got some canes to give you. Another way that I plan for our self-sufficient garden was I have a look at what we eat. So I open up the fridge and the pantry, I make a canning plan, so that's how I know what I need to preserve for the season. I then prioritize things on the list that we eat the most of, and I grow some of the things that we really do want, but they're not really a big priority. Working out your seasons and what you eat is super crucial. We have plenty of room to extend the raspberry row and plenty of space to extend our strawberries, and also get some blueberries planted in here, which would be really nice. I haven't bought any of those yet because, you know, I'm trying to do this on a budget and we have plenty of time. These strawberries were gifted to us from a neighbour. They had black spot on them, but I used a bicarb and dishwashing liquid spray. This one's come through with a little bit on it, but it's not too bad. I can probably retreat if I need to. But on the whole, they're looking really good. This one's even trying to give us a little strawberry. We need to bring this little fence down. These were the first things that we planted in this garden. We were worried about the chickens. So these are strawberry plants that I purchased in bulk from the major hardware store, and they're doing pretty good. We've got some flowers forming and little strawberries. So I think this is quite a nice starter patch for our strawberry season. I'm really looking forward to being able to gift strawberry plants to people in the future that are in the same situation as I am, just starting their new garden. I mean, strawberry plants are pretty expensive to buy outright. I think at the moment they're about $5 per plant, and yet if you know a gardener who is growing strawberry plants, they will have spare runners for you, I guarantee. This is our rhubarb patch, and I did not know that rhubarb grows all year round down here in the south parts of Australia. So apparently we're going to have a lot of rhubarb. But Sue, again, thank you so much. She gifted us 3 beautiful rhubarbs and they are looking fabulous. Look at this leaf that's about to emerge. So before you know, we're going to have too much rhubarb to eat and we'll be giving it away. What a terrible problem to have. Now I have left plenty of room here because I would like to continue our little currant patch. I do think perennials are really important in any garden. The walking onions are a perennial. The currants and berries are all perennials. Rhubarb, a lot in this row will pretty much all be perennials. Perennials are super important to any property because you do not have to buy seed every year. It is just going to keep producing year after year as long as you look after it. You have it in good soil, you feed it regularly. We make our own compost here and it's very rich and everything loves it. So we did buy in compost this year because it's our first year growing here and we couldn't make enough to start this entire garden. This is our black currant and it was just a stick when it came to us and now it's got all these beautiful green leaves. I've mentioned it on a few videos, but it had this little nodule here and it was kind of like sticking out of the bottom of that one. So I cut it off with a bit of root system just to see whether it would do anything. And I'm very pleased to announce that it has started growing. So this means in future I can separate or even take cuttings and I can extend the black currant patch further out. I'm not sure yet. I might get red currants as well and do a bit of half and half. I don't think we need 50 plants, so I could probably just put, 10 to 15 in this area and that would be plenty for us. I think along with the raspberries, strawberries, the orchard as well, we're going to have quite a variety of fruit available to us, which is exactly what we want. I don't want monocropping, to say the least. I still want a little bit of variety, but it doesn't mean that we need to grow a crazy amount either. This wonderful patch was created initially by myself and then my lovely son who's on school holidays, Bentley, he extended it out for me. He actually extended majority of these rows out for me. He's been a huge help and I really appreciate having him helping me with it all. I should say he was on a tech ban and honestly, it worked out really well. It was his own fault for extending the tech ban because he broke the rules, and the consequences were that he didn't get it for a month. And you know, as parents, we actually really do follow through with giving consequences. And he then was like, well, I'm bored, what can I do to help? And I was like, you can help in the garden. And he actually loved it, and he has done so much of this work, and I really, really appreciate that. Now I know what we like to eat. I then got a list going of all of our seeds that we had, and I put them into the different garden beds here in the notes section of my phone. I'm able to then look at which areas I'm going to replace with winter crops once my spring summer season is done. Can add things and make changes because I usually just have my phone with me a lot of the time. I also love to be able to check things off that list once I've already got them planted out, and it's working really, really well for me. We've had some locals express to us how they really love what we're doing and that they're really excited to buy veggies from us down the track. Now, we've always said that this is our self-sufficient garden so that we have got no need to buy any fruits and vegetables from the supermarket. But we've always said that if there's enough there, we would love to share with our community. Apparently, it's been a few years since somebody used to grow potatoes in the area, and every Christmas everyone would buy bulk bags of potatoes in the local district. We are in a very, very tiny town, so it's very community spirited, and someone mentioned that it would be wonderful if we did it. So we thought, well, we've actually got loads of space, we're going to throw in one extra row and yeah, turn row 6 into a potato patch, we reckon. But yeah, we'll wait and see how that goes. So the first succession of corn has gone in. I haven't had any movement. We've only had 3 days of it being over 20, so I'm not overly surprised, but I do plan on doing probably 3 more successions of sweet corn and having this entire row blocked out with sweet corn. The reason I've done it on this side is because they grow really tall and we actually have road access in between the corn and our next row. So even if the sun is, because our sun goes like this, in summer it's going to be a little bit further over above us, but still at the moment it shades out a lot of this area. So brings me to my next patch. This is our potato patch. I've only planted out 1/3 at the moment with potatoes, and we've got more coming. We've got probably this row and another row to completely do full of potatoes. Not just for us, this is for community as well. It's really important that we grow enough for ourselves and enough for our locals, if they would like them. They're coming along really well. This row is a little bit slower. I've got 2 different varieties in here. I've got lots coming through the compost that I'm transplanting out. But check out a couple of these ones that came through first. I mean, lovely. I probably need to give them a little bit of a feed. I noticed that they're a little bit yellow, like this one. So we'll wait and see how they come along. It could just be because it's still a little bit cold at the moment. We get very cold winds coming from this side, and because there's really no trees, we just get the full brunt of it. I'm sure they will be getting plenty of zucchini from us in the future. If you've ever known, if you've ever grown zucchini, you know you probably need 1 plant, maybe 2. But I've got so much room, I thought I'd grow 4 button squash and 4 zucchini plants, and we'll see how we go with that. But it's so nice to share with others. I really enjoy that. And this is all homegrown organic vegetables. I mean, it would cost a fortune to buy that at the local supermarket. So like I said, the wind comes from this way. So what I've done is I've built up the mulch to create a little bit of a buffer, and it seems to be working. They seem very happy. They've already got their next set of leaves coming on, and yeah, they look happy and healthy, and I'm going to do that with the entire area. We've got pumpkins and melons going in. I've started digging some new holes here where I'm going to plant out pumpkins, but we've got an entire patch to do, guys. I don't think we're going to have a shortage of pumpkins or melons at all. And, you know, what a terrible problem to have. Again, if you've got the room, you may as well grow it. That was our thought process. These are some grape cuttings, fennel, tomatoes, a little baby fig cutting from my mum. And oh my gosh, look at all of this food, all of this potential for beautiful, delicious food. Flowers for our pollinators, very important. These are my capsicums, cabbage, pumpkins, and look at this apple mint. This was a plant that I saved, so was the cat mint, and they're all thriving. Welcome to our orchard. I can't wait until these are all flowering and you can see them a lot clearer. But we have got flowers and we have got life, but they're all baby trees. So what we're going to have here is, this is our chicken and duck coop that's being built at the moment. So our chickens and our ducks are going to live in this space. They are going to look after our fruit trees. It is really important for organic gardeners to have systems in place to try and reduce the pest load. Check out this pear. It is just loving its life. It's got all these fresh shoots, all new growth. Gorgeous. We have a huge variety of things growing in our orchard. We have got stone fruit, loads of citrus, pomegranates. We have got figs, apples, pears. We have got a row down this end of olives, because one day we would like to do our own olive oil. And look at this beauty. Oh, look, the chickens are already helping it along its way. Gorgeous. The bees have been really loving this one too. This over here is our original lemon tree. Besides the 2 pines down the back, this is the only established tree, and it needs a bit of love. We are trying and we are picking a lot more, and so it's a lot happier than it was when we first got here. But it is a gorgeous tree and I want to look after it. I hope I've helped give a little bit of an idea of how our brains are working to start this self-sufficient garden, and I'm really excited to share with you how it goes, because I'll be very honest when things do not go to plan, and things aren't going to go to the plan. Like, that's just life in a nutshell, isn't it? But I like to be very transparent on here. I'm just human. We're all just human. And we're just doing the best that we can. So if you're interested to see how the garden is going to go, follow along. Subscribe and we'll see how it goes. But fingers crossed, all the organizational skills and planning that I've put into place will at least get us quite a significant amount of food growing for our family. But thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a comment. I would love any questions that you have, and I can do a follow-up video with any answers. And I would love to hear what you're doing. Like, what are your staple crops? What are your main canning items that you're going to preserve this year? I would love to know what you're up to as well. Thanks for joining us, guys. I really appreciate having you here, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. And happy gardening. See ya.